Hi folks, welcome to the Sabre Zone. This is a video on the channel that always discusses what you had to say and how you said it. And I got a clip for you. I'm going to take a look at this because caught my eye. I clipped a bunch of stuff. Guys, just so you know, all the stuff you requested for videos and stuff, I clipped it, you know. And I caught up, I don't know, it's 41 videos behind my notes. I caught up 28 so far the last few days. I'm gonna do the other 13, or sorry, I got 17 to go. No, I was 45, I can't remember how many is behind, forget it. Okay, here's the clip. And I think the name, the shout out goes to Biarzik. Hope I said that right. That's a tough name to say. It will be interesting to see what Adams does in like 2 or 3 years after we make it through this initial phase. And that Biarzik, Biarzik is exactly, sorry guys, is exactly right, because it's not something I thought about till I read your note, to be honest. I can't believe that, but no, I just didn't think about that. So yeah, what about when things are in place and we're winning and we're looking good and the Sabres are back to respectability, kind of like the Oilers, right? Nobody's making fun of the Oilers no more. I mean, they got McDavid, so that helps, but you know what I mean. What about then? What about, what's Adams going to be like then when because his mission really was to come in and save us from drowning. That's really what it was, you know, and he was going to do the time for sure and the suffering for sure that other GMs just couldn't do, and he is doing it, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, with our pipeline, our prospect pool is just amazing, as everybody knows. The young kids on our team right now are amazing. I mean, there's just a lot of good that's went down since he's come in. And of course, look, I mean, we know he didn't draft Dahlin, he didn't draft Middlestat. There's guys he didn't draft that are on this team, you know, but I mean, overall, he's done an amazing job of resetting the organization. I guess resetting is the right word, okay? He reset the organization, Biarzik, and he took us from the scrap heap and gave us life again. You know, it was like he went into a yard where you scrap cars, and he spotted a car that he liked and said, oh no, I'm not going to let that get scrapped. I'm taking that home. I'm going to fix it up. And somebody looks at them like, what are you, crazy? Look at it. You know, this is the condition the Sabres were in when he took this team. Really. It was a mess. Everybody knows it. I mean, we had the longest losing streak of our history. It was awful, guys. We went through like the absolute worst era of our history with Adams as general manager. I mean, he had to deal with, oh my goodness, you know, he had to deal with the pain of watching Kruger just get worse as a coach. And there's no hating on Kruger here. There isn't. Kruger came into a situation that he wasn't ready for. And that's where Botterill, I realized Botterill wasn't a good general manager, was when because your job's on the line. You're going to get a coach. Your job's on the line. You better make the right call. And I said that about Botterill before he hired Kruger. He better, if he's firing Housley, okay, he better make sure that he gets this right. He better get this right. So we didn't know nothing about Kruger. We just heard the players saying great things about him, and you know, and then things started to look good. And then where the peak of that hope was when we managed to get Eric Stahl and Taylor Hall. That was the peak of the hope of Kruger. You remember Kruger the year before started really good, right? The team started good, slow death, right? And then we all of a sudden looked good again. Another quick start, and then a total, again, another, you know, it just wasn't happening under this guy. This guy could be good for spurts. His system worked for spurts, but not for a season. And a good coach figures a way through a season. And this is what Granato pulled last year. So Granato took a team that, let's face it, wasn't supposed to win really more than 20 games. We really weren't. And won 32 games. So that's a testament to him developing young talent, and you know, he's the guy that put Tage Thompson at center ice. He's the guy that thought of this idea and said there's too much potential there. We got to put this guy as a centerman and see what happens. Like, you know, there's tests that he's doing and running and trying, and that's why, what's it going to be like, again, what's it going to be like when things are good? That's not something any of us, I think, we're really thinking about. We're just hoping to get out of the bad and contend again, and you know, but what's it going to be like with Adams as our general manager when we're winning, when the pipeline's healthy, when, I mean, how much credit will he get then, folks? Really, how much credit will he get then? I'd like to know that one, because there's so many people out there that just thought this was a joke, putting him as a general manager. I had my doubts, because, you know, all I know is Pegula said this was the first time he got to choose who he wanted as general manager, and he hit it on the head. He nailed it. This guy's done a really terrific job. And I know some of you think we have to get certain players in this team for this team to survive. That's the same thinking that we had when we had Jack Eichel here. It's the same mentality. You know, you need a team to win in hockey, not one player. One player does not put you over the top. One player can put you over the top when you're contending. Not now. Not now. Now all that can do is cost you money and perhaps chemistry. There's always that chance too, right? There's always that chance that the chemistry can get hurt in that dressing room. So we got to be careful decisions we make. Adams seems to be on it though. You guys seen it. He is hard. I mean, he didn't bend with the Jack Eichel deal. He managed to rip off Philadelphia in the Ristolainen deal. The Sam deal, everybody thought at first he didn't get enough back, but now we see this kid named Devin Levi, and I think we know that we pretty much so far have won all these trades, so far. And these were trades we weren't supposed to win, none of them. So I'm gonna look at this. It was a request for I think it was the worst trades in our history. Was it the 10 worst trades in our history? Somebody requested it. I marked it down. I clipped it out. But it's like, you know what? Historically speaking, the Sabres, when it comes to trades, have fared okay. Historically, you guys can easily find a few that sucked, but the one that stood out the most in our entire history now provides us with a potential 50-goal man next year. So the Ryan O'Reilly deal, folks, doesn't look so bad right now. It just doesn't. I mean, would you trade Tage Thompson right now, 1-for-1, to get Ryan O'Reilly back? Would you do it? I wouldn't. No chance. No. So it didn't turn out too bad. It turned out good for them. They won a Stanley Cup. He got the MVP. That Bennington won that they gave to Ryan O'Reilly. Like if Bennington won that MVP, you know, he should have got it. But O'Reilly was he was my second pick to win the Conn Smythe that year. He was. But I thought Bennington should have got that. Look, we're going into the next phase. That's the truth. And it's not something I'm thinking about. The next phase starts this year. This is the phase where we expect to see results this year. This is the year, guys, that we expect to see results. I'm not saying playoffs. I won't go there. No. Could we make it? Yes, we could. Yes, we could. If everything falls into place properly. Things have to fall into, no injuries come to mind. Solid goaltending. I think it was Bert. I'm doing a video on that soon enough. Bert, you talked about, yes, you know, we need to have good goaltending. We need to have no injuries, but we need to have that same chemistry that we had going on last year before the season was done. And if we can do that, we could be there. As long as we're there in March, we're there, you know, and I don't care. Anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. A winning streak. Other teams get injuries. You guys know it. Weird things happen in this league. Weird things go down. And if the Sabres can just be there hanging around this year, possibly could get in. But again, this is a good topic. It's not something I really thought about till I read it. What about the next phase? I wonder what Adams will be like as a general manager. Because I'll tell you what, here's my thoughts in close, guys. If he can get us through these times, which he has done up to this point, if he can get us through those times, I can only imagine what he can do when the fruits of his labor, you know, are coming to fruition everywhere, and he's starting to see all these young studs on the team, and everything's starting to fall into place all of a sudden, and the team's looking good. And so important, guys, to be healthy in management. All right, folks, see you in the next one.